Hello, everybody. It's your favorite co-host from Habs tonight here, Drew Deeks, Nick, and Shaner. I'm here to bring you a special holiday-themed roundtable. As you can tell, we're all feeling a little festive.
Two out of three.
Well, you still count. You still count, right? You got the ugly
imagine.
Christmas sweater, got the hat and everything.
It's pretty hot.
We're feeling good. We're feeling holly and jolly, unlike the Habs. But it's all good, baby. It's all good. Habsitivity, okay? Habsitivity.
Yes.
So, we have to start the show off with a bit of sad news here, but we want to extend our condolences to the Mete family. For those who are unaware, Victor Mete, former Habs, his grandfather was involved in a deadly shooting in Vaughan this week. So our condolences and prayers go out to Victor Mete's family. Always a Hab, forever and always. So moving on here, we need to touch on something more joyous, happy, right? Anthony Richard is the story of the week. Called up from the AHL. He's played 2 games with the Habs so far. His childhood team, right? He's said multiple times that, it's a dream come true for him. And you can tell, right? On the ice, he's got all the passion in the world. And he just scored his first goal in the NHL against Colorado this week. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead. No, please. I showed up late, so you guys.
Yeah, but you're usually the host, so I think you deserve to go first, just to voice your opinion, Deeksy. Go for it.
You guys insisted. Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. Like I didn't know a ton about Anthony Richard. I wasn't following quite as closely as some other folks were, but once I started to kind of realize, okay, he deserves a call up, and he was the leading goal scorer in the AHL, and you saw it like the first game that he played. We all saw immediately he's got some wheels, and I saw Anika even you tweeting about that exact word. Like he's got wheels, and nothing was nothing was more clear than that on his first goal, because he just took a beeline at the beginning of the game and received Jake Evans' pass perfectly. He was already exploding up the middle of the ice as soon as Evans got the puck, and he just didn't stop. So he finished well, and he played 944 in that game against Colorado. So he didn't play a ton of minutes, but what he has shown is that he deserves to be there, and he's contributing more already than some of our much more higher paid veteran players. So, which we'll get to, but good on Richard. He's the 3rd Richard in Habs history to score a goal, only behind the Rocket and the Pocket Rocket. But it's been fun to watch him, man. He's been, every time a new guy comes up, I said this on my channel too, that every single time a new player comes on the Canadiens, they just have this new fresh energy, and you never get tired of that, right? Like that, you can't not feed off that if you're a current player. So it was just really fun to see him come in and make an immediate impact in 2 games. And even in the first game when he didn't score, he already had the confidence just to rush the puck up the ice and try to create, and he was able to do that and finish in style in the second game.
Yeah, he's been only played 2 games, but exciting to watch. I think it's that breath of fresh air that we're missing right now from a lot of guys on the team. And I heard it on ADS this week where they said, is it time to start calling up guys from the A just to put a little bit of extra pressure on some of our veterans right now to say like, hey, you're not performing. We got guys at the bottom right now that will kill to get this position right now. So just a little extra push in the butt might be necessary. The kid's playing great. Like you said, it's the 3rd Richard in Habs history. It's great to see. Our generation never witnessed it.
Yeah.
Seeing them play and the legacy that they left. So hopefully, I'm not saying that he's going to leave the same legacy here. Please don't quote me on it. But it's nice to see. You're looking at the scorecard and you see Richard's name up there. Obviously not the same thing, but pretty cool to see. Kid's playing great. Can't wait to see what else he's going to do. He's leading the A in goals right now. Is he going to bring that extra spark? But the set of wheels on him is incredible. And so far, so good for me. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Apparently, Dadonov is benched tonight for he's a healthy scratch for tonight's game against Dallas. So does that mean that Anthony Richard gets a little bit of a promotion and won't be on the 4th line? I'm kind of hoping. I think he deserves it. But
I think you might be right, because Pizzetta is in for Dadonov.
Exactly. So I'm kind of hoping they'll just bump him up. And play well, get rewarded. I feel like that's what it should be at this point. It's not about how long you've been here for. It's about, do you deserve it or not? This kid deserves it right now. So what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Well
At
put.
this
I mean,
point, put him up.
exactly. And like you said, I mean, Martin hinted that Kirby Dach would be playing center tonight. So there's a
Okay.
spot open with Nick and Cole. I mean, is it too far-fetched to say that, give Anthony a shot there?
A little bit.
Why
yeah.
not? I
Yeah,
mean,
but let's be honest. Last game, he
little,
put
yeah.
Cole, Nick, and Armia on the first line.
Yeah,
Shaw
that's
can't
it.
do worse.
We don't need to talk about that.
We cannot. No, we can't. He who shall not be named was on the first line. Damn it. Put him up. I don't
Yeah.
care.
You know what? Yeah.
Try it out.
Yeah. Permanently. He's not moving.
Permanent. He deserves it. He's totally a
Uh,
first liner right now. One
That's
goal.
it. So it'll be interesting to see where he slots in tonight
Yeah.
and the opportunities that he gets. He's also very good defensively. That's one aspect of his game that's been, mentioned when he played in the AHL. Like him, Harvey Pinard, and Belzil were kind of the guys for the PK with the Rockets. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of defensive assignments he would get tonight against the Stars, who are a very good offensive team. But you can't be understated his speed and his offensive output. Like he's still a very talented player that deserves a spot, right? We've mentioned this. You earn your spot on this team, right? That's the culture that Martin and his team want to build. You earn your spot. You're not given it, like Dadonov has not earned his spot. That's why he's sitting tonight. So it'll be interesting to see. But I love his enthusiasm, his passion, right? You can tell every shift on the ice, he's working. Like he wants to keep that job. He wants to keep that spot. So those are the kinds of guys that we need on the team more of, in my opinion. But glad to see him having success for now. Just 2 games in, but still noteworthy.
The only request I have before we move is this, can we just get more English questions? I know the French media love a new French guy, but can we get some English questions so I can understand what he's saying, please?
Careful.
Yeah.
You'll upset a lot of people saying that.
Screw you.
Be careful.
Screw you all. No, I'm just kidding.
But
There's more English than French fans. Let's just do it. Anyways, you guys know where my heart is at. Anyway.
Way to open a can of worms.
Aha.
Oh boy. Please go easy on us in the comments. It's all good.
Speaking of,
yeah, patience in rebuilding. So, I mean, I get it. I get that, in Montreal, we have expectations and we're used to greatness, right? We are used to seeing our team win and being in the playoffs and 24 cups and all that. I get it. But you look at the state, you look at the lineup that we have, right? You can't expect anywhere near a playoff position, right? So everyone that is whining about, us not performing, I get it. It sucks. But in the long term, that's what we need, right? Patience, because we have a young up and coming team. And right now to lose is unfortunately the best case scenario. You look at the draft coming up here. It's absolutely insane. The top 10 is nuts. The top 4 guys would have gone number 1 this year or last year. No disrespect to Slaf. He's still a phenomenal player, but that's how deep this draft class is. So patience, right? We're not going anywhere. We still got a few more years on this earth, so we can wait. We can wait and see this team becoming, a steady playoff team for years to come. Hopefully, follow in that Tampa and Colorado footsteps where they sucked for a long time, yet they built on draft picks, and you see where they're at now, right? They are both the reigning champs in a sense. So patience is the key word here.
I think we also need to consider the fact, take a look at our record right now. We're almost playing 500 hockey. It's not that bad considering what we're watching and how we're playing. It's not that bad.
It's still 100 times better than last year.
Yes.
Not last
by
year.
Far. Last year was
that says a lot.
Here's the rock. We were here. Now we're above the rock. So that's positive, right?
We're breathing, right? We're breathing.
We're somewhat there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a matter. I know it sucks. I'm the most impatient person in the world, as you guys know. I will complain on a daily basis in our group chat, and I will say some words that should not be said. But all things considered, we still have good things happening. We almost have that first line set. As we can see in the past few games, he's been taking Doc away and putting him back, and every time he puts him back, we kind of get that spark back, right? So if we stick with that line for now, we still have a little bit of something going. We need to figure out the rest and consider, obviously, the fact that we have a bunch of injuries right now, not helping us whatsoever. We still have a lot of key pieces that are missing. To me, we still don't have a number one goalie right now.
Yeah.
I think we're bouncing between two guys who are either going on a good stint or just going in the dumps. It's not consistent. So for me, the whole title of this is consistency. We don't have it, and I'm not sure we've even figured it out yet. So Deeks, I don't know if you want to chime in on that, but that's just my 2 cents for this one.
Yeah, I think that that's kind of why the reason we titled this episode Patience. And yes, technically this wasn't like the 4 guys you see in the thumbnail that you clicked on today. And thank you for clicking on it, first of all. But, those are 4 core key pieces. They were ranked really high. Take what you want from Craig Button. We've agreed and disagreed with him over the time we've had this channel. But I think we can agree that Kaiden Guhle, Juraj Slafkovsky, Nick Suzuki, and Cole Caufield are a pretty good core 4 guys, 23 years old and under, to build around. Mm-hmm. And we've saw an evolution, when we're seeing an evolution from Kaiden Guhle with Mike Matheson out of the lineup, having Kaiden Guhle step up the way he has offensively, defensively. He's making mistakes, which now is the time to do it when you're rebuilding. But the whole theme of patience, and just building around these 4 guys, we're still not done building, and we're not even close to done building. So I think what I've had to realize is that I don't really know how far away we are from being a contending team or even a playoff team, but I do know that patience is really needed right now, I think, as a fan, because some of us, like myself, we're doing videos after every game, and I'm not sure how to react. Am I happy when they win? Am I not happy when they lose? Am I kind of just in the middle? And now we're getting to like the halfway mark of the season where you got to make up your mind on how you're going to take whatever we're getting, right, in terms of the hockey and the product that's out there. And with Monahan, Gallagher out, Matheson is out.
Savard.
David Savard's been out, and he's been having a good. These guys were having great seasons, really. Maybe Galley having an okay season, but at the end of the day, this draft class, like Shane mentioned, we can't afford not to go through another rebuilding season this year. I just don't think that, like, we saw what one season of a whole new front office did in all these trades and the draft, and the guys that we have coming up, and some of them we're going to touch on about being in the World Juniors very shortly. We're going to talk about them. Mm-hmm. And we can't afford to not have another full successful rebuilding year, which means more losings probably on the way, more frustrations probably on the way for the next several months. And then boom, we got trade deadline, we got the draft, we got free agency, and we just went through that. And look where we are now. Yeah. We're 500, right? We're at 500 hockey, but the product has gone up. The philosophies have changed. The strategies have changed. The staff is implementing all these things that I'm talking about. And we know where we're going, but it's just frustrating when, like, you're just not seeing that next step, because, you got Slafkovsky, who, what do we do with him? Well, I don't know that any fans really truly know. Nobody knows the right answer fully, I don't think.
That's it.
And I think that's okay, because we're not professionals. We're fans. We're friggin' armchair GMs. You know what I mean? We're all YouTubers we're all fans trying to figure this thing out along the way, and nobody has the right answer, not even the Montreal Canadiens. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we're still dealing with human beings, and they're unpredictable. They change daily, hourly, by the minute, by the second. Like, so these players are not who they're going to be yet, and we just have to realize that we have some great pieces in place. And at the end of the day, patience is required, because I think this year, to not hit on a top 10 pick would be a failure, big time. To not try our darndest to get a top 10 pick would be a failure. And I think Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton know that fully, that they're letting it happen gradually. You never want guys to get hurt, but they're shutting down Sean Monahan for a major reason. That's because he's an asset that we're likely going to move. And Joel Edmondson, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to get to trades later. I've been talking for a while, but the long and short of it, mainly I'm saying, is that patience is sincerely required right now as a Habs fan, and that's okay. I think it's good that we're getting closer to the midway mark of the season, where we can accept that more frustration, more losing, or are we just going to accept that we don't have to be frustrated? We have to just kind of realize that this is necessary to get us where we're going to go. And that was a long-winded answer, but I hope I made sense.
Yeah, I mean, to build on that a little bit, like, you were mentioning how it's hard to judge whether we're happy or sad, whether we lose or win. I've been looking at this season through personal individual wins, right? You look at Cole Caufield, who is top 10 currently in goals scored. You look at Nick Suzuki, who's been having a fantastic personal season. He's going to be an all-star again, no doubt about it. Kaiden Guhle is making leaps and bounds. He's already cementing himself as one of the best defensemen on the team right now in his rookie season. Arbor Jackeye, what to say? What more to say about him, right? A revelation this guy has been. So these personal wins is what I'm tuning in to see each and every night, right? Every time we play, I'm looking at that. I'm not looking at the scoreboard. I don't really care because I know we're not contending this year, right? We don't need those wins. We just need to develop. And those personal wins will help us develop. So that's just my lens for this season. And it's helped me enjoy, some of the less enjoyable games, through a habsitive. Is that a word? Habsitive, whatever.
It is now.
It's a verb now, folks.
Marco's
habsitive lens.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that we have our dear friends, the Florida Panthers, who, God bless their souls, are royally sucking right now.
Yes.
Who we gave Ben Sherratt for 2 months and in return got an unprotected first-round pick. Thank you.
We might get one more.
And we might get one more.
Hello, Sean Monahan. Or
I'm gonna remind me.
Okay, we're touching on that
when
later.
Tread piece. I have things to say about Monahan. I changed my rifle to the other side.
I think Nick, you'll want to touch on their next subject though, eh? I'll throw it over to you right now. Listen, our special units. Okay, so I was talking about individual wins. This is not a win whatsoever. No. This is more concerning than anything. We have by far the worst power play in the league currently, sitting at 13.46%. Is abysmal, as best as I can put it. To compare, I mean, the best team in the league on the power play is Edmonton with 33%. So that's a whole 20% better than us. Listen, like Drew said, right? We're not coaches, we're not specialists, we don't know the answer, but there's something wrong. Like, you can't have a 13% power play in December. Okay, that's just it's not right. So, Nick, take it away. I mean, I know you have strong thoughts.
I think I'm gonna get out of the way here for it.
Well, come on. I've been bragging about this all week that I wanted to cover this specific segment. That's it. No,
let it go. Let it out. Let it out.
So, keeping this habsitive, it's about rebuilding and patience. Yes, I understand. However, we've sucked for the past 10 freaking years on the power play. The last time we could score on a power play, we had Markov and Kovalev.
And Mark Streit. Mark Streit, I'm pretty sure.
Mark Streit, God bless his soul.
Oh, boy.
Okay? The first time or the second time. Like, blows my goddamn mind that we can't figure this out. Why? And then, like, why? Can we not get a power play coach? Is there not anybody out there that's qualified to do something about it? Again, sorry, Burrows, but to me, you've had time to prove what you had to prove, and I don't see it. Great guy, great hockey player, but I don't see it. I don't get it. So for me, at the end of the year, I would be moving on from this guy. Take care. Here's a bag of pucks. Sayonara. Like, I don't know what else to tell you about him. Bye. Let's try to find and get us someone who can coach a goddamn power play unit. Plain and simple. I don't know. I have no words. I have no freaking words on how we cannot enter a zone. We can't get a puck to the net. We can't. Oh, but one thing we can do is a goddamn drop pass. A drop pass.
We've perfected that one. Oh, yeah.
We perfected the other night the drop pass on the band to the goalie or to whoever's at the back because we have no quarterback.
He's coming.
Oh,
Where?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's playing
World
for
Juniors
Team
right now,
Team USA. Right now.
Just, and our penalty kill, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not
better.
great.
It's
It's
definitely
better, yes.
than the power play.
But I don't know if only we had a guy like, I don't know, Arthur Lekkonen.
You still miss him, don't you?
I do. I'm kind of sad. However, yeah,
He's on my wall.
but
Let's move the title. He's on the wall. But
on
keep
the wall.
talking.
Yeah. No,
You can't
it's
see him.
like,
He's
it's
here.
not bad. I've seen better. Can we do better? Yes. We are the most penalized team in the league. So is it a lack of discipline on our end? We've seen some horrible reffing in the past few games too. Let's be honest. When you have a guy like TJ Luxmore reffing, you kind of take cover and hide because you don't know what to expect from this guy. But our discipline has been awful. Bonehead moves, bonehead plays. We can't keep a lead for God freaking knows what. So yeah, that's my rant. You guys go. I'm gonna let you guys chime in.
Are we allowed? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Well, that's also like part of the issue there with like the discipline. I mean, you got 3 rookies on the defensive end, number 1, and then you've got Jonathan Kovacevic, who's almost like a rookie now, playing regular minutes in the NHL. So I think that doesn't really surprise me or even bother me because, Jordan Harris, Arbor Jack guy, Kaiden Guhle, these guys are taking their lumps. They're making their mistakes. And now's the time to do it. So really, like, am I surprised that this is happening? Not really.
No.
Now, in terms of being most penalized, yeah, I think part of that problem is, I mean, Arbor Jack guy does spend a lot of. There was a Chris Nyland stat that was thrown up the other night for.
Yeah, he's the most penalized player in the league.
Yeah. That's what it was then. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get it. Arbor plays a tough, rough physical game, and I don't think he knows his boundaries yet. Like, I think he's still probably figuring that out. So I think that's part and parcel of just he's the new kid on the block, and he's still playing well despite that. Even offensively, he almost has 5. He had 5 goals until friggin' Dvorak stole his goal against who was that again? Where they won? We won the game. Yeah, thank you. So but like, to me, with the Burrows thing too, I mean, guys, we've had Dadonov and Armia on the power play. What do you expect?
I know.
Like, what do you expect though? Like, I mean, it's also a lack of personnel. Like, even Brendan Gallagher is like, he's a second power play unit guy, and he's out.
Yeah.
Like, when
injuries aren't helping.
Injuries aren't helping. 100%. I'm not trying to make excuses,
100%.
but at the same time, though, even Drouin, like, he's okay on the power play, but like, these guys are just these guys are all expiring on this team, and they're all going to be gone at the end of the season. So it's tough to. I don't know. I'm not that upset. I'm not happy. The power play is still abysmal. We all just like cringe every time we get a power play, which is
we'd be better off playing 5-on-5.
Yeah, we are better 5-on-5
and starting our power play in the other zone because we lose the face-off too. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Nick Suzuki wins a few draws, but the only play right now is the Ovechkin spot with Caufield. That's the only play that works. So
if you get there.
Yeah, if they can get the puck there. But I mean, I don't know about the Burrows thing. I don't know if I'm not saying he's not to blame. Partially, for sure he is. But I also think that who is on the power play does not have me inspired at all either.
No, that's right.
That does not help the situation at all.
Yeah. There's flashes, right? There's potential there. We've seen plays from Nick and Cole mainly, who are going to be those guys on the power play for years to come. So again, there's hope, patience, right? Patience is the key word for today, but there's certainly an issue other than the fact that, we don't have the people that we need there. Obviously when Lane Hudson comes in, that's going to make a whole difference. When Slav comes into his own, that's going to be a big difference. But I think it's a great transition here. Mr. Lane Hudson, we have to talk about this guy because he is currently on his way to breaking records in the NCAA for most part for a rookie defenseman. Yeah. A rookie defenseman in the NCAA, okay? He's going to beat like Brian Leach's record or something. He's on pace to smoke his record. Not even close.
He's way too strong for that league. It's insane.
It's pretty impressive. And we got him late second round. So
Shane, you were excited, man.
I was at work. I was at work when it happened. Okay, it was second round. I was at work and I was checking my phone the whole time, being a bad employee. But I don't. the guy sitting to my right was asking me, "Who did we pick? Who did we pick?" And then he was on the phone when we got Lane Hudson. So I stood up. I'm like, "Oh, And then oh my God, who do we get? Who do we get? Anyways, it was a great day at work. I'll always remember that. But Lane Hutson, man, I knew he was going to be special. Sure enough, again, people pass him because of his size. Ridiculous. Okay,
That's going to be
bonehead. We see what guys like Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox are doing in the league right now. They are staples at the blue line with their respective teams, and they're not huge. Okay, they are my size, right? I'm not that big. So Lane Hudson's actually slightly smaller than I am, but no big deal. Who cares?
What a bust.
Right? That kid can play. That kid can play. So that's all that matters. That's all that should matter. You look at Cole Caufield, 5'7". He's leading. He's top 10 league in scoring. So where's that argument that he's too small? Bullshit.
He's 5'9" and still growing right now.
Exactly. So no, Lane Hudson's going to be a stud. But we also have a lot of other prospects here at World Juniors. Joshua Roy with Team Canada, currently leading the team in preliminary game scoring. He's got 3 goals, 3 assists, something like that. He's really tearing it up with
6 points, yeah.
With the French line there with Cedric Gaucher and Zach Dean, great line. You got Philip Meshar obviously for Team Slovakia. Canada played them, and we saw glimpses of him. But what can you do against Canada, right?
What did you guys think of not sending Slav? Did you agree? Because there was that topic of should we send him or should we keep him and just let him ride out this season? So what did you guys think of that?
I was on the fence for it, right? If you're going to have Slav playing bottom 9 minutes, no power play, I would have sent him, right? If he's playing top 6 minutes with power play, keep him because those are good minutes. Those are good. Yeah. That's good learning for him, right? The more NHL games he gets, the better. But obviously an experience like the World Juniors doesn't come very often, and it would be his last, right? He's not going next year. Forget about it. So I think it would have been cool, but I don't know. It depends on how we use him.
Yeah, it's tough because for me, I think going from already playing in the World Championship, already playing the Olympics, going to the NHL, not even having a sniff in the AHL, then to send him to junior hockey would just be weird. I just think that they're convinced that he's learning the most he possibly can where he is right now, and he certainly is. And maybe he looks fatigued. Maybe the grind of the NHL season is getting to this 18-year-old kid. Just remember that, 18 years old.
Big jump.
Massive jump. It's a serious grind with the travel and all that stuff. So I don't. If there's one thing I'm on the fence about, it's Laval, and if he should go there. Am I on the fence about him playing the World Juniors? No, I have no problem with him not being sent there. Yeah, he could have went there and just dominated, and that's what fans would have loved to see, and it would have just been like, okay, we can feel better. He's going to go outplay Shane Wright, and everyone's going to be happy. Well, Shane Wright can go play junior because he's not NHL ready. Slav, maybe he's not fully NHL ready, but he's getting NHL ready by being in the NHL. And I'm not saying that I know the development path. I just kind of talked about this earlier on the show. I don't know the best path for him because I'm just a fan, but I do have to trust that this new regime and the new staff knows what they're doing with him. So I have no problem with him not being in junior. I don't think that it was going to help his development by him going. I agree with that take. And I think that Laval is the next question mark, and it's been a question mark all season. He hasn't gone there yet. So is he going to go at all? We don't know. We just don't know. So I think it would be more valuable for Laval than the juniors by a country mile.
Going to somewhat disagree with that, just for the fact that Laval is not playing up to Laval standards right now. They're having a complete shit season. The injuries on that team is just absolutely ridiculous this season. And if it would have been last year, the way Laval was playing, I would have said, perfect. It's a confidence booster. It's what he needs. But I feel like that team just doesn't have an identity this season. So by sending him to Laval, I don't know what it would do for his development. I don't know what he would gain from it just because they don't seem to be going anywhere right now. So that's why I'm on the fence for it.
And that's, me too. And I don't know what's right.
Again, I don't know. Yeah. Again, I don't know what's right. I know it's not Shane Wright, but it's.
Ooh,
okay, I'm sorry.
It's been months. We already knew that.
I know. I just had to take a jab at it because. Yeah, I don't know what's the right thing for him, but again, like Shane said, it's he's playing some good minutes. Well, here and there, he's getting some power play time. He's getting the experience, and let's not forget, we're still not a full season in from this new front office with Martin St. Louis and everything.
Yeah.
We're not even a full year in.
Yeah.
So people tend to forget that. Like, yes, he's implementing a system and a culture, but it's not going to take 6 months. So I don't know. I think it's all going to chime in at some point. I mean, our prospects are going to gain some great experience going to the juniors, and who knows? Is it an opportunity maybe for these guys to get a quick bump up at some point? Like, I don't know. I really don't. But it's only it's experience, and it's only going to benefit them in the end. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the World Juniors in general. You know, keeping Slav aside here, we have some great talent showcased in these games, playing for some big teams, right? Joshua Roy is one that's going to stand out for me because obviously I'm going to watch every Canada game, but already he's been playing at a level above like anyone else on Canada, really. Like he's been that guy more so than Connor Bedard, which is insane to say. So hopefully he can keep it going. He seems to have the right attitude, and hey, who knows? Like maybe next year he'll be able to make the jump. Maybe not to the NHL, maybe starting Laval, but he's trending in the right direction as a 5th round pick, might I add. So, you know,
such a
Timmins and Bergevin, like shout out to you guys. That was a steal.
Some great moves.
Yeah.
But
they still left us with some pieces.
Speaking of moves.
Hey, segue.
Some moves incoming. Yeah.
Ew.
Can I say one more thing before we get to trades? If you don't mind, just
he ruined it.
Way to ruin the segue. Thanks for coming out. Oh my gosh, horrible.
See yourself out.
Yeah, I will see myself that way. Not yet, though. You can wait. Okay, so Owen Beck. I just want to say Owen Beck not making the World Juniors. I know this is so. Also, don't forget Nick Suzuki did not make the World Juniors the first time he went. And then what happened the next year? Well, Canada lost. We know that. But Nick Suzuki did make the juniors after that, and then was a Swiss Army knife for Canada. He was doing everything for them. And that's when I actually interviewed him right around that time. But have I mentioned that a billion times or not yet? I think I have. So anyway, Owen Beck will make Team Canada next year. I have zero doubt in my mind. And then getting said no to could not be a possibly better motivator for players.
That's it.
So it's just, you know, they didn't think
work
he
for
was
it.
quite there. Yeah, exactly. So I think that we're all excited about Owen Beck as well. And we would have loved to have seen him at this tournament, but we're not. And next year we will. It'll be the right time. Patience, the theme of the show today. And it's all going to work out for him too. So I just wanted to throw that out there for him.
Exactly. And have to mention Riley Kidney as well, who's been, again, consistent in the queue. So shout out to him. Good prospect as well. But let's jump into some trades. We've heard rumors nonstop, right? Guys who could be traded, guys who we would trade for. Tongue twister.
I was gonna say, having trouble there?
Too much to drink, but
too much eggnog, buddy.
That's it. It's going to be interesting here leading up to the trade deadline. You know, we're going to be an active team, not as active as last season, I would predict, but still there's going to be quite a few moves. And one that I've been pushing and I'll keep pushing until we do it is the goaltender, right? And Nick, you said we don't have a clear-cut number one goalie. Unless you trust that Primo is the guy, you have to get one this year. You have to, because next year is when it starts. Okay. Next year, you have that battle between whoever you get and Montembeault, because I feel like Montembeault is an NHL goaltender. Remains to be seen if he's number one or number two. I believe he's number two, but
it's not number one yet.
We need a battle next year. Okay. That's what I want to see. I want to see two guys fighting for that number one spot. Unfortunately, that means that Allen would be moving. Right. And we love Jake Allen, Jake the Snake. He is a fan favorite. No doubt about that. But I think timeline wise, right, he would fit better on a contending team right now than he would on a rebuilding Habs team. Right. So we could get something big for him at the deadline. I think he is one to move. But if we're looking at young goaltenders, there's 3 names that have been thrown around, right? Devin Levi, who is from Montreal, right? DDO, who belongs to the Buffalo Sabres. He played for Team Canada, the World Juniors. He is a fantastic goaltender, right?
Yeah.
You got Askarov from Nashville, right? They have UC Saros. So again, is he really going to get a chance to perform to get that number 1 spot one day? I don't know. Maybe interesting to get him. And my guy, the guy I've been pushing, Dylan Garand, is the guy I want. Okay. He belongs to the New York Rangers. Obviously, the Rangers have arguably the best goaltender in the league, right, in Shesterkin. So when is he going to get a chance, right? It would make sense for New York to trade him. They badly need a backup goaltender. Jake Allen fits that spot. So I've been pushing that agenda for months now. That's my prediction for the trades. We're going to be moving a goalie.
You're just an armchair GM.
You guys are listening to me, though. So I guess I'm doing something right, eh?
That's what you think.
What? Hey, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Okay, if I'm an idiot, tell me. I don't care.
Well, people will. They're not shy. They never have been.
I got thick skin. Lay it on
Our
me.
fans aren't shy.
This is my vision. Okay, this is my vision. I'm putting myself in Kent's bald head here, and this is what I'm doing. But obviously, you got the the expiring contracts are going to move as well, right? Monahan's likely, hopefully Dadonov, Drouin probably. So those are a given, right? But if we're talking about big moves, I think we're going to be splashing into the goalie water.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have the same list of guys that we would like to see move, such as Armia, Hoffman, Dadonov. But the return right now for these guys is just not there. So what are you going to trade him for? If nobody else is listening, you're stuck with these guys. But if you've got some expiring contracts coming up, you've got a lot of things to consider. Is there a contract somewhere in there that you buy out? First guy that comes to mind is Armia. The guy is not producing. 0. Nothing. Can't even hit the net. Like 5 feet apart. These are bigger issues right now. So I don't see who's going to want to pick up that salary cap and Armia. Find me a team. I can't. I can't right now. But what you're saying with a goaltender right now makes absolute sense. And I think you're right when it comes to the New York Rangers. Being a fan myself of the Rangers, is Halak right now is not performing near well enough to be a backup in a league.
That's it.
So they do need that backup if they're going to make a playoff push. So it would be logic for them to go after Jake Allen. But I'm considering again Kaiden Primo, who I don't believe is ready yet. So
will he be ready? That's the thing, right? We've been asking this. Like,
not
will
next
he
season.
Ever be ready?
I know.
So,
I keep saying next season,
exactly.
but I'm watching him play this season. And I'm like, maybe next year. They must see something in him with that new contract too. I don't know.
Hopefully.
But for me, two guys that you need to absolutely move, if you can, is going to be Hoffman and Drouin. Because those are the 2 guys that I can potentially see getting a pick for.
Mm-hmm.
How high?
Those are my 2 guys.
How high? Yeah, that's it. There's 7 rounds, eh?
Yeah.
Go for it. I don't care. They're taking no, but we're talking about earning a spot, right? So these 2 are taking the spot of 2 kids in the A or whatever that probably deserve it more. I don't know, Harvey Pinard. Just guys that would do anything to be there and play to the NHL caliber level every single night.
Yeah.
Nick Richard. There's a bunch that could be done, but we don't have a buyer. Or can Kent pull some magic out of his bum and find us a buyer? I don't know. But when it comes to Sean Monahan, at first I was like, okay, perfect. Let's keep him for this season. Let's see if we can flip him. But from what we've seen before his injury, I don't know. I kind of see him as a key part of this team now, leadership wise and power play wise, 3-on-3, a bunch of different scenarios that we've seen him in, which, if we can get a good pick, I mean, you're going to consider it. That's for sure. But I don't know. I kind of see him being a part of this team But two guys that I wouldn't be scared to move are Josh Anderson and Edmondson.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my two guys right now that we can get good returns for, and I don't see a benefit right now of keeping them. It's nothing against them. We've seen the type of leadership and the kind of strength that they have. Great guys for the team, but the lack of consistency from Josh Anderson right now, I don't know. I have my doubts. And Edmondson, he's coming back from a season-ending injury from last season. So yeah, it's going to take a bit of time for him to get back into it. But with so much defense prospects that we have coming up, this is a guy that I see moving and we get a good return for.
Yeah. There's been rumors that we could get upwards of a first-round pick for him, which is surprising. Apparently Edmonton's high on him, which I can understand. They're not the deepest
that would make sense
defensively, but first round pick. Hey, if you get that offer, you cannot.
Signed, sealed, delivered. He's yours.
You cannot pass that up, right? If you get that phone call, I mean, shake your hand right away. So it's gonna be interesting to see here if Anderson, Edmondson, those guys get moved. But yeah, what do you think, Deeks? You got any trades in mind?
Well, I appreciate where Nick is coming from with Monahan, and that's exactly why we have to trade him.
It's true, though. It's true.
Yeah. I got love for, where I'm coming from, right? Because
yeah.
It's catch-22. Yeah, it's those players that you start to develop a love and appreciation for that you're like, yep, perfect. So you definitely have to be traded.
Toffoli.
Toffoli, we had a memorial service when Toffoli was. I was so depressed looking at Nick's Twitter last year. I'm like, I can't go through this again. I can't do this. It was like a memorial service when Tyler Toffoli got traded. I'm like, he's still alive, guys.
But again, we got a great return for him, right? We got Meshar and Heineman. So
fantastic return.
You can't complain, exactly.
No, and then Kent Hughes kept going, and then to me, our first round return is going to come from Sean Monahan. That's just where it's going to come from. The value he has shown already, he's on an expiring contract as well. So as much as, he's somebody we don't want to see go on an expiring contract, well, he's the guy you got to get your biggest asset from. And Joel Edmondson is as good as traded, I think. I think it's a gimme. Stanley Cup winning pedigree. He's got a cup with the Blues. He's a guy. We saw what he did with the Habs in the playoff run. Unbelievable in that top four with Weber and Sherratt and Petrie. But I think that Monahan is out of the lineup very much so for the injury and because they got to protect him so they can use him for a trade. And I think that's just inevitable too. I really like what he brings, but I definitely think that your first round pick is going to come from Monahan. I don't know about Josh Anderson. I would say maybe. I don't know what to make of Josh. I know that the one player out of all the guys we're talking about, I'm going to miss the most if we do trade him is Josh Anderson, because I was talking to Hockey Junkie about this, a fellow YouTube Habs creator, hilarious guy. The more you get to know him, but he was saying, Anderson just brings an element that just not many guys bring, just with that power forward style of play. And yeah, sometimes he's invisible, but he just brings a dynamic, and he's tough, and he's big, and he's fast, and he's skilled.
That's why you trade him.
There you go. There it is, right? So in my mind, yeah, that's the kind of guys it'll hurt to lose them, but I think this is the season where you
necessary sacrifice sometimes.
It's a necessary evil, if you will. Yeah. So I think Edmondson, Monahan, and Anderson, if you flip those guys for, let's just say we get 2 first rounders from those 3 guys in this coming draft, it's a no-brainer.
A second rounder for Anderson.
We're probably going to get a second rounder for Edmondson or Anderson, but a prospect's going to come in there and with one of those guys. But, you're going to get your first rounder from Monahan. Some
maybe
experts
Jake
are saying,
Allen too.
Yeah, some experts are saying that it's going to be tough to pluck away another 20 because everybody in the league knows how good this draft class is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Canadiens that are trying to get better. It's 31 other teams too. So I think it's going to be tough to get maybe 2 first rounders, but we got to get at least one more if we can. And if that means we lose 2 or 3 of those guys, then we have to do it. As far as Drouin, Dadonov,
they're not going to get you what you want.
You can't even these. We know who our guys are: Edmondson, Anderson, and Monahan. That's where you're going to have to get your most assets in return from. And unfortunately, if you like them, too bad. Like it's just no. I would miss Josh the most, is what I was trying to say. Just because I like him as a player. I think he brings a dynamic we haven't had before. I've never seen a power forward like him on the Canadiens in this modern era of hockey. So I think I would miss him the most. Monahan's been fantastic. Does everything right. Like he doesn't do anything wrong. It almost feels like, and in every end of the ice, he just does everything right. Like Nick said,
we got him for free.
Imagine this. Picture
for
this.
Free.
Right? If we can flip Monahan for a first-round pick, we will have traded a future consideration for 2 first-round picks because we got Monahan and a first.
I might just get a shirt of future considerations.
I will shave my head.
A retro of future
in honor of
considerations.
The god. Okay, 2 first-round picks for future considerations. If he can pull that off, that is absurd, unheard of.
Sign him forever.
Can I mention one more trade proposal? Somebody proposed, like, because we're talking about trades. There was a proposal with like Owen Beck involved for Bo. This is a Bo Horvat proposal, and Shane's about to puke. So, but like, do the Canadiens have any interest in Bo Horvat or Brock Besser? Should we just throw that out there? Because I don't think we have room for those contracts.
I don't think we have room, but if I'm not picking Horvat.
Interesting.
Horvat doesn't fit the mold. Like
I could see myself. I could see Besser more. I could kind of see Besser.
Yeah.
I have a little bit more faith into that idea. However, I don't think we have room for it. I don't think it's going to work out. I think it's a pipe dream, but I mean, one can dream.
Are there any you were talking about that Sportsnet trade, right? The one with like the 2 first-round picks for Horvat and all that.
It was Sportsnet.
I think so, yeah.
Garbage.
Toronto Sportsnet.
God, whoever thought of that needs to be fired. That is awful. So bad.
Are there any prospects in our pipeline right now that we're willing to part with for a trade? I don't know that.
You'd have to dig deep. Like Jaden Struble has value.
Yeah.
Justin Barron.
Right. We have a lot of D.
Barron.
I don't know.
Interesting.
That's
I
don't see Barron and Mayu being on the Canadiens' future. Like, do you see both of them being full-time Habs? I don't know that I see that. Maybe
putting the whole Mayu situation aside, 100%. But considering everything, I have trouble piecing it all together and seeing how it's going to work out.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you know what I mean.
Well, Mayu's
like I don't want to rehash it, but I kind of just want like I don't know how it's going to be handled. It's going to be a PR nightmare. I'm glad I'm not dealing with it, but the kid is a great hockey player, so we could benefit from having him. But we're not going to have both. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, Barron is, I don't know.
I have PTSD
maybe he still needs
from trading.
Time.
Yeah, I have PTSD from trading young defensemen, right? Last time we traded one was Mihail Sergachev for Jonathan Drouin.
Yeah.
That worked out great.
No, thank you.
The biggest wart on the Bergevin era.
It's scary, right? It's very, very risky to trade a young defenseman because you don't know what he's going to turn out to be, right? You see Sergachev this year has taken a big leap. He's PP1. He hasn't been phenomenal beforehand, but like this year's really come into his own. So I don't know.
But then you can turn around and trade Alexander Romanov for Kirby Dach and look how that works out.
But we have Arbor Jacki.
Exactly.
So
doesn't matter. Had Wi-Fi.
Romy's still doing well in New York. I can't bash
I think
him.
it was a good beneficial trade for both teams.
Win-win, exactly. Win-win,
I guess. But
he's going to be a dad, so congrats to him. So.
Oh, is he?
I thought so. I thought I saw that on Twitter.
Papa Romy, yes, he is.
His wife's pregnant. Yeah.
Papa Panda's going to have a tiny panda.
Yeah, baby panda's coming out.
Baby panda. Well, congratulations to the Romanov family, clearly. Forever a Hab. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We've got a lot of key situations that are possible, but it's kind of exciting.
Patience, my friends.
It's a good problem to have. It's a good
patience. I'm going to make a shirt and print it for myself. Of patience, and I'm going to wear it every show because I
need it.
Patience for every single situation.
Get it tattooed
desperately. Yeah. You need it desperately.
Yeah.
Just tell the truth. Well, you have. You admitted it.
I do tell the truth. What do you think I've been doing?
Sorry, I'll never challenge you again.
Well, I think
on that note,
I think we've covered about everything. But before we head off here, still the holiday season, right? December 23rd. So I'm going to go around and ask all of you. What present would you like Habs from the Habs for the rest of the season here, they could give you one present, what would it be?
A good power play. That's all I want.
Give it 2-3 years, and yes.
Okay, no. On a more realistic note, my number one present would be for us to get a win in a reverse retro jersey.
There's
That is honestly, I think that's a good one.
And there's one right behind you, and it's brand new. I see it.
Yes, and I think Shaner's frozen, or he's just very confused about what I said.
Yeah, I think the weather finally caught up to Shane because he warned us that this could happen.
Yeah.
So
what about you, Deeks?
Yeah, what about me? Temporarily, I'm just going to take Shane out of the stream. Once he's good, he can jump back in. Working on the fly here. This didn't happen until the very end. So if you're still tuned in,
yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
You know what? The first thing that came to my mind was that Lane Hutson is the best player in the World Junior Tournament. I know it's like the best player, best defensive. I want him to be the biggest standout and have the most teams regretting not taking him than ever before. You know, like I really would love to see him. I think we're just going to watch the Lane Hutson show. I haven't felt this strongly about a prospect since Caufield. And you guys know how high I was on Caufield before he got here. I was pretty high on the kid. Was I? Yeah, I was over the.
You had your moments.
Yeah, I was a nut job. So, but I was kind of right.
It's realistic, though. I think it's a realistic gift.
We haven't really seen that much of him yet. Like you just got to have a gut feel sometimes.
Scratching the surface.
We've scratched the surface on him. We've seen some highlights and this and that. But you know what? Remember when he was at development camp? He was running the drills for everybody at development camp. High-end hockey IQ. High octane offensive ability.
Which is what we're getting.
Power play quarterback of the future. Andrei Markov, the second coming on, you know what I mean?
The general.
Like that's who he's going to be. He's going to be, I don't know that he's going to be, Markey was, like a bit bigger build of a guy, of a player.
But he can't hurt. He can't hurt.
No. And the way the league is going, the way the game is going, he's going to be a special player. And I think that this tournament could really showcase that. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I just, for Christmas, I just want to see him be at least a top 2-3 player in this tournament. Impact player. So
all we can hope for.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to see it. I mean, kid's unreal. So
I got a good feeling. I'm just waiting for it to manifest now. I think we're just waiting for it.
So since Shaner has bowed out, I'm pretty sure that he would want to wish us all a very Merry Christmas, happy holiday seasons to whoever does not celebrate Christmas, of course. Stay safe out there. The weather's pretty crazy in Ontario right now, so don't go doing anything too crazy. Enjoy the holiday season. Eat a bunch of stuff. Eat the cookie. Don't feel guilty. Just go nuts. Have fun. Hopefully you get some nice Habs Tonight gear for Christmas. If you do get some money and you feel like, oh, that's in French, my bad. If you feel like getting some gear, go for it. habstonight.net. Our merch store is still open. Tag us on whatever you do receive for Christmas. We always like to see some Habs related items on our feed. And aside from that, I think that's pretty much it for today.
That's it. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a while. We have gotten a lot busier in our own lives, hence why it's harder to put together shows for us. But whenever we do, we try to put together a quality show only when we can truly do so. So thank you for.
We'll try to get you guys a yearly roundup before the end of 2022 by next week. Clearly, we only have a week to do it, so we'll try to get that to you guys, and we'll be back soon.
A lot has happened this year. A lot has happened this year. From January to December, a lot has happened.
Feels like 5 years. It's insane.
Yeah. So we'll have lots to talk about then again, too.
Yeah. All right, you guys, take care. Again, be safe. Happy holiday season, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.